What did this subscriber send me? Let's find out together. Hopefully, it's fantastic. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Bourbon Hutch, and thanks so much for joining me on this journey through the world of whiskey. So this is one of my favorite kinds of videos when a subscriber sends in a sample for me to try. It's always a fun time to try it blind, see what I'm tasting, taste the whiskey on its own terms without any biases getting in the way. And it's also the case that when you guys send me something, it's usually pretty dang good whiskey that you want me to be able to try. So thank you so much for your participation in the channel. Today's sample was sent in by Norman Latva. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Norman. But thank you so much for your support of the channel and for sending in this sample. Got a nice little mystery question mark on here. I'm not sure what this is, but Norman did say he thinks I will love this whiskey. So there's no real intro to do here other than to say I'm not sure what this whiskey is. It'll be my first time tasting it. I'm doing it blind. And let's see if we enjoy it. All right, on the nose, Norman's mystery whiskey here. Ooh, it's nice. First thing I observed too is just the color. It's nice and rich. More on that dark amber side of things. Really solid. Ooh, very like oak and vanilla forward for me. It's giving me some proofy vibes. So not like big notes of ethanol, but something simmering there. Cherry for sure. A little bit of a spice kick. But yeah, there's more of this like nice oak, vanilla cherry, maybe like a nutmeg, spice. Not too much nut, but a touch of nut in there maybe. Fruity as well. I mean, there's more than just the cherry here. Slight apple note for me. Brown sugar along with that apple. Sticky. It's kind of got this sticky, gooey, that's mostly the oak maybe coming through. So I'm expecting this to be maybe more of an aged, proofy experience, but could be totally wrong about that. In any case, the nose is very nice and inviting and maybe a touch aggressive. So let's go in for a sip and see if any of that translates over to the palate. Cheers. Yeah, that's good. I think it's got some proof on it too. I'd probably put that more toward the barrel strength end of things. Doesn't sip super hot. That's not what I'm saying. I just think it's got proof, it's got heft. First sensation that I got here was just this warming, rich feeling in the mouth. So really enjoying that. There is a strong like oaky, aged, maybe even like leather tobacco note on the back end here. Slightly drying because of that, but brown sugar, oak, a little bit of that nut. Maybe it's like a pecan, something like that. More of those rich, nutty flavors. Just a touch of it, not too much. Cherry for sure, and a vanilla note. Okay, so it started out nice and rich, more of an aged profile here. Again, I have no idea what this is. I couldn't even guess what distillery, but if I had to take a guess, I'd say it's more of an aged barrel strength kind of offering. All right, let's go in for a second sip, see if we can pick out some more flavors. Cheers. Nice. That sip went a little bit lighter on the notes, more fruit, more punch. So it had a lot more of the cherry came through for me there, and a little bit of that apple, maybe even some honey came in to play on that sip. And then got a nice enveloping spice on the back end. There is like a caramel note as well, so more of a sweet, fruity, punchy sip there for me. First sip was more of that oak, vanilla punch to it, kind of sticky. The second sip was a little bit more punchy with some of those fruit flavors coming through. Very solid, nice developing experience here. Again, long finish. We're gonna go evaluate the finish here with the third sip, but I can already tell you it's lingering for a while here. But let's go in for that third sip. Cheers. Wow, continues to develop. That sip had the most cinnamon and brown sugar presence to it of any of the sips so far. It also had more dark fruits now. I mean, that second sip for some reason I was getting more of a bright cherry and apple. This one I got more of a dark cherry and maybe even like a raspberry kind of note. So that sip felt a little bit more sugary and dark. Overall, this seems to be a barrel strength, if I had to guess, pretty high proof in that 120 range with good age on it, so it's got some oak presence. But then there's a fruity burst to it as well, so it brings a kind of complexity to it. Overall, this seems like a really solid release of whatever it is. Very, very nice. Let's just quickly revisit the nose. Yeah, more of that dark, even like a black cherry note coming through. Yeah, starting to sweeten up, but maintaining its richness. Really, really nice whiskey, Norman. Wow, really, really good stuff. Very powerful. A couple of those sips, I did feel like the proof got to me a bit, but overall, that also gives it this nice lingering long finish, and it's packed full of flavor. Okay, so Norman said to reach out to him once I've tried the whiskey, and he will let me know what it is. For your convenience, I will just cut to the reveal of what this is that we've been sipping on. All right, we're back. It's a different day. It's one haircut later, but I do now have what Norm's sample was. What we've been sipping on in this video was an Elijah Craig barrel proof 9-year-old single barrel that was 131.6 proof. So I could tell the proof was higher on this one for sure. 131, I think that's the highest Elijah Craig I've ever tasted. And 9-year-old, so a little younger than the typical, regular release from Elijah Craig barrel proof, but still some good age notes on there. Would love to hear from you guys if you've had the new Elijah Craig single barrels that they've been releasing. I know they can range from like 9, 10, 11, some might be older than that in terms of age there. Would love to know if you've come across any really great bottles. I think this is a really good one, Norm, so thanks for sending a sample along. It's been awesome to taste. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up, everybody. Hope you're all doing well with your whiskey hunting journeys, and I can't wait to see you guys for another video. So until then, keep drinking good whiskey, and cheers.